Hello everybody and welcome to my second EU4 video. In this video I will continue the game from last video and I will try to end the war of Byzantium this time and show you a few things that you want to pay attention to when you are doing wars, when you're doing peace conference and so on. So let's get started with the game. So last time we started doing the sieges on Constantinople and in Serbia. I will leave these units here to protect the siege, even though now Serbia and Athens are sieging a few provinces over here, but it doesn't matter so much. Right now it's, well, basically you just want to wait until the sieges are done and watch out that the enemy troops are not engaging your troops that are sieging the enemy provinces. So as long as they are only walking around over here, and maybe they will try to siege the fort here down here in Selanik, but it's not a problem. But now Serbia is moving up, so we might have to stop one of the sieges to support our troops. Yeah, it looks like they want to engage the 3K here. Well, they chose not to so far, but I don't trust the AI. But it's looking good so far. They're just running around, so we can let them do that. Doesn't really matter for us. We just want the sieges. So the siege at Constantinople looking very good. You can already see now the chance is 21% to win the siege. Okay, now it's, well, we didn't win, but the percentage went up to 35%. So whenever this green bar is full, we have a 35% chance of getting the siege, or winning the siege and taking the city. And the same over here, we already have 35% on this fort. Okay, so one thing that I want to show you, like, how is this percentage calculated? So when you click on this province that is being sieged, you have this siege overview, and we can see the defenders, which is Byzantium. We can see the amount of garrison troops, which is 1960 out of 3000 at the moment. You get 1000 for each fort level, and since it's a capital, which gives 1000, and a fort building on it, which gives another 2000, the maximum was 3000. So if we breach the walls, we can also make an assault on the fort, but it will create heavy losses, and it also depends on how many garrison troops are defending the city. But we don't want to do that. We just want to win the siege the normal way. So over here we still have this timer. When it's full, another siege phase is done, and the siege will be calculated. And we have a 35% chance at the moment to take the province, but this still leaves us with a 65% chance of not winning the province. But you can see down here that there are values for other events that can happen, and these events can give you further bonuses for the siege. Also, the longer the siege takes, the higher the chance you get a city is. This is the siege status. It goes from 0 to 12, so 12 is the highest. We are already at 12. And then there's other modifiers that can increase your chance to take a city. For example, if your commander has siege pips, or basically siege skill, it can increase the percentage. Then if you use artillery, which doesn't exist right now because we need a certain military technology level for that, which we don't have at the start. Then this one is for naval blockades. Right now we do naval blockade the province, so it's at 0. But if we move the ships away, then this would go to -2, so it would actually give us a small penalty if we do not blockade a sea fort. And then this one always depends on the fort level, which is 3 in this case. And then another modifier is whether the walls are breached or not. This you can already see in the picture over here. So right now we have breached the walls, so we get +1 bonus, and then a die roll, which is just a random random value add every time. And this one will be calculated together, and every point that we would now get more, so if we get one more point, for example, if we add our general with 1 siege pip, it would increase the chance to win the fort by 7%. Okay, so let's just keep it running, see which siege will finish first. The one in Serbia is now at 49%, the other still at 0%, but it will go up. Okay, so Constantinople is won. Now we can merge the army again. Small naval battle over here, which you actually don't want to fight, so just move out. Still, we took one galley down, but since we try to full annex them, the navy will disappear anyway. Okay, so if you pause the game and you click on an army, you can always see where it's moving. This is also really important. So, for example, this Byzantine army is now moving to the province of Tolchu and will arrive there on the 1st of March. And this army from Serbia is moving to Filibe on the 7th of March. Now note that if you're moving your army and they are more than 50%, or they move more than 50% of the distance between two provinces, you are not able to call them back anymore. You will see that like there's a small line here, and then this arrow will turn from, yeah, I'd say it's like yellow brown to gray, and then you are not able to stop the movement. So now they were still able to block the movement, but for example now you can see the arrow turned gray, and now I'm not able to cancel the movement into this province. Like, you can still tell the army to move somewhere else afterwards, but you have to move into this province first. So I move there, and then we will catch this army. Can merge these two again. Okay, so that one was a stack wipe. Stack wipe means that you just killed off a complete army without enemy survivors. Okay, so they're trying to run away, but they won't be able to because we have small distances here. And let's move them to Athens. So Serbia raising few new troops since we killed their whole army, but as soon as we have the capital, I think we can make a peace treaty with them. You can make separate peace treaties with the allies of the nation you're primarily attacking. So it's often worth it to focus on the allies first, so you can peace them out and their troops are not hurting you anymore, or fighting yours anymore, sieging provinces and so on, just so you have an easier time fighting against your primary target. So right now I can click on Serbia, and here you can see that currently we have 86% war score against Serbia, so they are at minus 86% against us. So we can sue for peace, and we could actually take some provinces, but I don't want to do that because there's a certain modifier in the game called aggressive expansion, and this one basically yeah, it shows how aggressive you are towards other nations, like how often you are annexing provinces, and it will, when you accumulate this modifier, it will go down over time, but if you go over a certain number, which is 50, then other nations can go into a coalition against you, and these coalitions can be very hard to fight, and when they fire and win against you, you're almost always forced to return provinces or release nations that you previously annexed. So you want to try to keep that number below 50. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but if there's only a few nations joining into a coalition, it doesn't really matter. And sometimes you just have to fight them, but if you're strong enough, you can still win the wars, of course. But still, it's early in the game. I don't want to do that, so we will just take war reparations, which means they will pay us 10% of their income every month until the truce runs out. And we want to take all their money. You can just press shift and then on the plus, so you get the maximum of money possible. Okay, so Serbia's out. Now we are just at war with Byzantium and their vassal Athens. We cannot make a separate peace deal with Athens because they are subject. So we will have to fight them together. Okay, so now we can just split the army here. And siege both forts at once. This one will take back these provinces because they are giving the enemy a bit of war score. And we want to get to 100%. And also the longer they are occupying the province, the less tax you get from it, because while it's occupied you're not getting the tax and manpower and production from it. That's basically how much money a province is making or how much manpower you are getting from a province. Okay, so we can take our navy, move them to this sea province here. They gain sea, because then we are blockading both forts, and our sieges should be a little bit quicker. Yeah, so now the enemy doesn't have the -2 advantage against us for not being blockaded. Okay, so I will swap this army out because this one has a general with 1 siege, so it will siege a little bit quicker. And I could also move some troops away because this one only needs 3000 to siege, but since there's an army, I don't want to risk it. So now we just have to wait for the sieges, then take the small stack, and I think then we can annex all of it, unless they change something. And then the next war would probably be on Epirus. And after that, the other Turkish minor nations like Kandor, Karaman, Turkadir, Ramazan is probably getting annexed right now. But you can always plan a little bit ahead and start building your spy networks and making claims while still at war with other nations. So you don't have to wait when you get out of this war to start the new one. But sometimes you still have to wait a little bit to recover economically from a war, because you might have a lot of debt accumulated, or you might be low on manpower, which is really important. But it's not really the case right now. Like, we have 10,000 manpower in reserve, it's fine. But that value should go up very soon, because we take a few provinces and then the maximum will go up. Okay, so let's actually see if we can still, if we can already take everything. Because we had 99%, but no. We still need the fort over here, so we have to wait a little bit. But it should fall soon now, 28%. Sometimes you're lucky you get it at 7%, which is the lowest positive number. As I said, it's always in 7% steps. Okay, now we got it. Now let's see. Yeah. So in a peace deal, you can always see whether the enemy, at least if it's an AI, not if it's a human player, of course, but if you're playing single player, obviously all nations are AI nations. If there's a green tick here, they will accept your offer, and if there's a red cross, then they will reject it. So right now, it would be 149 positive against -147 negative, so they would accept it, because you always need just one more positive point than negative point. If it's the same, they would still deny it, but so you need one more point positive than they are negative. And there are certain modifiers to it, like, yeah, obviously, since we try to annex them completely, they get another -25 modifier, and another one -26 for ongoing battles, because there's this naval battle over here, which means, but doesn't really matter because we have, yeah, 99%. So we can actually take all provinces. We can take Athens province, and we can take their money, and we still end up only at a peace offer value of 88. So the maximum is 100. If you're at war with a nation that has a lot of provinces, you might not be able to take everything in one war, because this value, or the value to take all the provinces, would cost over 100 war score, and since that's not possible to achieve, you would have to make several wars. And then what else can we see here? We can see how much prestige we will get. We will get 12.2 prestige. Prestige is just a modifier that ranges from -100 to +100 and gives you the listed bonuses. Yeah, and they are basically scaling with how much prestige you get. So the more prestige you have, the larger the bonuses are, and if you go into a negative value, then these bonuses will turn into, yeah, negative. So you will get a malus. And then we can see this piece would cost us 77 diplomatic power, because we are demanding more than our claim is, because we only have a claim on one of the provinces, but we want to take more. And if you are making unjustified demands, that is how it's called, you have to pay diplomatic monarch points. Then we see how much aggressive expansion we would get with other countries. So we would suffer between 2 and 76 aggressive expansion with 306 countries. So most of them will be pretty low because they are far away, and it also depends on their religion. So since Byzantium is of Orthodox religion, it affects other Orthodox nations more than it would affect Muslim nations, for example. And then you can see which nation would bring you, or with which nation this peace deal would bring you over a modifier of -50 in aggressive expansion, which would mean that they could join a coalition against you. So currently that's only Byzantium at -76, but since we are annexing them, well, they obviously cannot join a coalition anymore against us, because they are because we wiped them off the map. And then another thing that's important is overextension. You see how much overextension this peace deal will cost you. I will explain what overextension is when we have annexed them. So when you took provinces, you need to turn them into core provinces. This one, you can just do that by clicking on this button. It will always appear if you have provinces that are not core provinces, or just by clicking into the stability and expansion tab, and then on overextension manage. Now we can see all the provinces that are in our realm that are not core provinces, and they cause overextension, and they cost administrative monarch power to be integrated into our realm as core provinces. And you want to do that with all provinces that you want to keep. Sometimes you want to, for example, give provinces to vassals, then you don't need to do that, or you can just give them directly in the peace conference, or you take them yourself and just transfer them to them, then you don't make them into core provinces. So now, since we are the Ottomans and there's one special event, we don't have to core all of them. We just have to core these 4, and then we can take the national decision, which is called Make Constantinople the Capital, and this will give us a core in Constantinople. So we just click that, get some other bonuses, and now it disappeared from here because this province was turned into core province by an event. So I hope you liked the video. As always, please let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like. I hope you learned a few things, and if you want, you can make suggestions for next video. And I hope to see you again next video. Thank you very much for watching.